Alright guys, so the fishing's been a little inconsistent lately and I haven't had a ton of time to fish, so figured I'd change it up and do a review video. The reel I'm reviewing today is the LFS Speed Spool. It's the $99 model. I have a lot of good things to say about it. Uh, when I first looked into these, I had been looking at the old model Speed Spool for quite a while. And when I first saw these and I saw that they had made some things out of graphite, I was a little skeptical because I really like the old reels and I didn't want them to make them any less sturdy or anything like that. But I did a little more research, found out that the frame is still aluminum, which I really like. I've had reels in the past that had plastic frames. I think had an Abu Garcia Silvermax, and anytime I'd set the hook with braid or anything like that, you could feel the whole reel flex, and I hated it. It drove me nuts. So I decided from then on I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to buy reels that had only metal frames. But I really like what they did to this reel compared to the old model. They really slimmed it down a bunch. Like my friend has the older version of this, and I've looked at them side by side. This reel is a lot more low profile. It sits really nice and low on the rod, and it's quite a bit more lightweight. It feels really nice. I fished this on a 7 foot medium heavy St. Croix Mojo bass, which is a pretty heavy rod. They're known to be a little kind of on the heavy side, and this reel made the rod feel like more high end and just made the rod feel a lot better in general. It really just makes it better when you're throwing all day, throwing lures all day. It doesn't wear you out as bad, and it just improves the feel of it. When I originally bought this, I threw 30-pound Power Pro on it, and I really didn't like the way it made the reel feel. This is a really smooth reel. It's got 10 ball bearings. I know that doesn't really make a reel smoother to have more ball bearings, but it's nice to have a lot of bearings. Uh, but yeah, the braid kind of took away from the smoothness of the reel, so I switched over to a 17-pound Vicious Pro Elite fluorocarbon, and I've really been enjoying this line. It's got a little bit of memory, but I mean it's a heavy fluoro, so I expected it to. But the reel feels a lot smoother when I'm using it, and it's not as good for fishing grass as the braid was, but when you're fishing in wood and rock, it's really good. And I know it doesn't always matter, but the fish can't see it compared to braid, and I mean on a pressured lake that could definitely matter. But let's see. Yeah, I wasn't really impressed with it at first, the smoothness of it. But I went through and I cleaned it all out. I put fresh gear lube in it and oiled everything, and it made it 10 times smoother than it was. Um, but you can see right here, just throwing the handle, it spins for quite a while. And if I get a good spin here, let's see if I can do this. Get a good spin and then hit this, the free spool on it is really good, especially for a $99 reel. These reels may not be like the top of the line reel on the market with all the fancy stuff. They just got basic magnetic brakes. But I mean, it casts really well. It casts good and far. And I mean, it's impossible to beat this for $100 in my opinion. I've tried other reels in the $100 range, and they just don't compare to this, in my opinion. I like the big paddle handles. Some people don't like them, but I do. And another thing they added was the clicking drag. I don't think the old Speed Spools had that. I know it doesn't really make a difference with the drag, but I just kind of like the sound of it. It kind of gives you an idea of how much you're tightening it or loosening it. Let's see what else. That's really all I have to say about it. It's a great reel, great price. If you're looking at reels in the $50, $60 range, I would suggest not buying them. I would suggest waiting, saving up that 30, 40 more dollars. It is more than worth it to buy a reel in this price range, especially this one, because it's going to just be higher quality. It's going to last you a lot longer. Like I said before, I had a Silvermax, and I used it for cranking, throwing spinner baits, and I wore that reel out in a year. The gears got really rough. I took care of it too. I cleaned it and lubed it. But the gears got really rough. It just made a grinding noise no matter what I was doing, and that kind of drove me crazy. So definitely, if you can save up a little longer, be patient, and get a nicer reel, it'll pay off in the long run. If you have any questions about the reel or the setup or anything, just let me know in the comments. But other than that, thanks for watching, and tight lines.